Okay, we're back. This is take 4 in the matter of 22 minutes.
A few moments later.
When you feel like you're uh, kind of up against something,
Hmm.
um, like whether it's a challenge to like step up and push through it, or whether it's a sign to like back off because you're not in flow. And I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Okay, so I was like, okay, we're gonna try one more time on Instagram. And then if my computer, like, I usually will give like a certain attempts or like by a certain time,
Mhm.
especially if I can catch myself becoming dysregulated. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like, this is about to take a turn. So like, how many more steps do we want to take? And that's what, like, Instagram was like, 3 more, otherwise I'm going to be ranting about meta all day.
And I love that you had this countdown from 10, because even though you couldn't see me, like I was watching you,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and the countdown from 10 was like, oh, I bet she does this with her kids too. And it's such a great way to be like, this is my boundary. It is a hard boundary.
You know what's hilarious is I did count down with the girls recently, and I've never done it before. They had no idea what was happening. They just joined. They were like, 3, 2, 1. And I was like, do the thing. Like, there's a whole, and I was like, I just laughed because at that point I was like, all right, we gotta explain what countdowns are.
But I love that they thought it was a game.
Yeah. They think everything is a game. Which I guess is childhood, right? Um,
Yeah, that's amazing. And actually related to something that I wanted to bring to this. And I'm not
yeah.
going to totally derail the conversation because you're the one in charge of it and there are things that you want to hit. But
Fine.
I got a book about Chiron that I've been reading. And Chiron, for those who don't know, is like the myth of the wounded healer, basically. It's like a Greek mythology. Um, but Chiron it's like an asteroid, and it is in everybody's astrological natal chart somewhere. And wherever it is in your natal chart, is a hint at where you have a wound that you will work on healing your entire life. It will never fully heal, but in your healing of it, you help others heal. And so it can tell you something about your wound. So I was reading that kind of in preparation for today, talking today. Um, which is like sort of like adjacent to grief, right? Because
Yeah.
it's and I was looking up where your Chiron is because I have all of your astrological information. And it's in the fifth house. And the fifth house is the house of creativity, play, sex, kids. But it's like that sort of joyful, like self-expression is the way to heal a Chiron in the fifth house wound.
Oh,
And I was
interesting.
like, she's doing that. Like every time you're making art, you're healing your Chiron.
I love that. It's so like when you were saying it, I was like, of course it's in my fifth house that holds all of these very important things to me, you know? But I love that you were like, I'm doing it. Okay, that makes me feel better.
Ah, yeah, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, you know?
Yay. I like so appreciate that right now because I feel like this has been a year of transition for me because like, every time I talk to you, I'm like, something's happening, you know? And I'm just like, okay, Krishna, like something's been happening for a minute now. Like maybe don't announce it every time.
Yeah, and something's always happening. That's
But I'm like, I did an expo and it bombed, and then I did a
oh,
market and I did really well. Like
okay.
clearly well for a market, you know, and I was just like, oh, okay. And then I just kind of like I'm retiring old work,
Hmm.
which is kind of wild to me. So like August 1st, like none of my older stuff, I shouldn't say
Wow.
none. Most of my older stuff won't be available. Like I'm just gonna retire it and like move on because I feel the calling for something else. Um, and I created like a digital composite yesterday, and I haven't really painted this year. I finished a commission and I've been working on like this piece,
Yeah.
but it's July, bro. Like that's 2 paintings.
Yeah, but there are season shifts, and there
Yeah.
will be and I mean I say this to you to say it to myself also because I feel the same way about writing, right?
Hmm.
There are years that are just like I'm so identified with writing and I'm constantly pouring it out and it becomes my focus. And then there are other times when I haven't
Yeah.
written anything in like memory. And that and I freak out sometimes because I'm like, if I'm not doing that, you know, that I'm not doing my purpose, or I must be disconnected from my creativity and I've lost it forever. Um, uh, so there's like an object permanence thing there of like the
Mm.
fear of if I'm not doing my craft now, then clearly I'm severed from it. I'll never get to do it again, and that's just
Yeah.
not true.
It's I love that you say that because I was feeling somewhat like that, but everything I've been doing in the first 6 months of the year has fed into what's to come,
Yes, yes.
right? And like I can feel that. Like I can see the bridge in that. But then like the Instagram lives, for example, I just started doing this, and then last week I wasn't feeling when I rescheduled. And then today we were having tech problems, and there was a moment in my head, it was like, it's like, oh, because you took a break last week. It's like you broke the flow.
Oh, so this victimizer voice comes in and tells you it's your fault,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
opposed to, if we can reframe it, maybe you're being nudged to always do it in something like a Zoom capacity, because then you will own the material, as
Right.
opposed to letting it just disappear into nowhere on Meta.
Yeah.
So
And
so yeah.
I've also been thinking, like, I've been low-key processing, like, how I want to move it off of Instagram Live specifically. Like, I want to post on Instagram, but
Yeah.
not have it housed there. So, yeah, like, yay for being nudged to just, like, do it right now and messy as fuck. So, here we
And to remember, like, it's happening because it's helping protect you from an outcome, like a bad outcome, like rather than this is my I did something wrong and
Right.
therefore this isn't working, to like, thank you universe or whomever for saving me, you know, probably some grief later
Yeah.
in case something happens
Yeah.
to Instagram. I'm not putting that out there, I'm just saying I don't trust
I
it.
mean, we are pretty magical. Our
I
DMs get kind of wild.
know.
No, that's great. Okay, so everyone who's joining us on one of the iterations of our Instagram live, we did some breathing and we dropped in. We'll probably revisit that and do that again just because it's been an adventure to get here. But I wanted to take a moment to introduce Lyssa. I have been getting somatic services and tarot services from her since about February, March, supplemental to like full therapy. And it's been great. It's helped me move the needle, it's helped me check in. I'm more self-aware, I'm more at peace. So even if tarot or oracle or the witchy woo astrology is like not your thing or you're not sure, I love Lyssa because she's so honest about it. It's not rose-colored glasses. It's just very like, this is what it is. Like, yes, it could be sucky, or, you know, so yeah, if you want to lead us through like a little drop-in session.
Yeah, I feel like we need a refresh since we got totally dysregulated after all of that. So I could use it too. So if you let your eyes close and land in this moment, which is different from that other moment. And always before we investigate inside, I remind you to feel all of your connection points to the surfaces beneath you. So your feet, connection to the floor, and your sits bones in connection to the chair. If your back is in connection to the chair, to feel that also. Almost like the point where you come in contact with the environment is like the point where the sand of the beach comes in contact with the ocean. It's a really finite and kind of magical place, that intersection. And then just noticing your breath, just noticing the quality of it this moment without having to fix or change anything. If it feels deep or shallow, fast or slow, Just letting it be what it is. And then just noticing, maybe by doing a gentle scan through the core of the body, the torso, noticing if there are points of tension or any kind of sensations. Noticing a lack of sensation is also a good awareness. It's just being curious without judgment and welcoming whatever is here, even if it's uncomfortable. And if it helps, to see if you can bring some more spaciousness around the experience so it gets to exist here as part of you. When you're ready, you can let your eyes gently.
Good. Okay.
Could
Well,
go all day, really, but then we would never do this.
we could, and then I would probably need like an amazing nap afterwards
Yeah.
to just like solidify the piece.
I'm curious, and we don't have to turn this into a session, but I'm curious as you were inside, what you noticed. There's no right answer.
I think it was just more of like I am safe, I'm okay, like everything's fine. Because just like when tech, like when you have tech issues or when you're just like you kind of get into this hypervigilant state, which
Totally.
isn't necessarily necessary. Um, and I have like a knot in my lower back and she's still there. So she was just kind of like, hey, and I'm like, yeah, I'll stretch you out later. Like, thank you. I knew you were there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. And it's so lovely to hear that your experience of landing in yourself today was one of feeling safe and okay.
Yeah.
Um, and like kind of a balm on the tech stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes when we land inside, it's like, oh no, alarm bells. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good. But like, what a beautiful gift that today inside your body feels like
I was reading, I'm reading this book that like breaks down and expands on the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. And I've never actually like read the Bhagavad Gita. My dad used to tell me stories of Krishna and Arjuna when I was younger, and like I have that as reference. Um, but it consistently talks about like meditation, pulling power back within you
Mhm.
and like stopping like the leakage of like
Mhm.
everything is flowing out. And doing meditation and yoga allows you to like stop and bring that energy back in. And I was just like, oh, like that makes so much sense. Because I feel that's why I feel like that's why I'm tired all the time. That's why we're tired all the time, but I can't speak for everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, this, oh, that, oh, and just taking a moment to breathe and be like, hold on a second, like
And it's
you're
just for you.
yeah, like you're good, like it's okay. And kind of just moving along in that manner.
Yeah, and even if like you're good, it's okay. It sounds like like a mantra that is very um effective for you, and also
Mhm.
it's slightly different. And I like that knowledge about like the purpose of meditation. But a somatic drop-in is different because it's not about releasing the tension. It's not
Yeah.
about peace. It's about just getting to know. And if
Mhm.
peace is a byproduct, then great. But if it's not a byproduct, then we don't come down on ourselves. We're just like, thank you for that information. And then
Right.
we have a place to like work on. But yeah, I haven't read it either, and I want to, and I have a copy of it.
Yeah, it's easy to get one because there's someone handing them out somewhere, which is
I
wild.
I
Uh,
need a book club for it.
yeah. Well, it's also like the translation that I'm reading, it's so dense, like it's badly done. that I have to pay attention. It's really funny. So I was reading the kids Percy Jackson before bed, and I finished that, and I was gonna read them Nancy Drew, but it starts off with like a child murder, and I was like, hold on.
Maybe not.
And I've never read Nancy Drew, so I have no idea. I'm like, oh, murder, like mysteries, like that's cool. No. So I stopped that and I was like, I don't know what to read, you guys. Like this has been on my list. Let me just do it. So my poor girls are sitting there like, what's she talking
Oh
about?
my gosh. Wait, but what about Roald Dahl? What about like James and the Giant Peach or like Matilda?
We read James. We haven't read Matilda yet. We read all of Anne with an E. Like I've been reading to them for a long time. You know, there's six. Like we go through books. So I'm just like, okay. Yeah. So it's just like this new genre of like what's appropriate, what can they understand, like, So yeah. But it's been fun. It's been fun to read it and like they just like to hear me talk, honestly, and like know that I'm in the room. So like they're still young enough that I'm able to get away with reading. Sometimes I read them business books, which is hilarious. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
like,
how beautiful is that? It's like just your presence and the vibration of your voice
right.
is healing to them. It's
Yeah,
nurturing. Oh, that's so sweet.
it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. So something that you had brought up to me a couple of weeks ago in terms of grief was when have you not been allowed to grieve? And we had such a great conversation around that. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about it because I'm just like, the policing of ourselves and others is so vast, right? And I'm just like, oh yeah, like my grandfather, when he passed when I was 5, I wasn't allowed to because I didn't know him enough. Like I was too young. Like my cousin, we were both young and dumb. My cousin was the same age as me. I was like in kindergarten, and he was like, "Why are you sad? You don't even know him," which is such a kid thing to say,
Yeah.
right? And I'm fine. I'm like, yeah, why am I sad? But I knew it was a big deal, right? Like my
Yeah,
grandfather.
yeah, you had a really natural response, emotional response, and there were rules in place
Yeah.
about what emotions were appropriate. And you weren't like we just when we're kids, we just listen to what other people say because we're like, I don't know. I guess that's not appropriate. But then it builds this habit in our nervous systems and in our bodies that now, whenever we feel those emotions that were not okay back then, um, it's hard to contact them because we weren't allowed, and like the not allowedness is like layered on top of the feeling itself.
Hmm.
Um, until you bring like actual awareness and healing to it. So um yeah, I think that as a culture, we judge certain feelings as being good or bad.
Right.
Um like specifically sadness and rage. I mean, especially rage.
You're right.
And and like part of what somatic therapy is, but it's also totally in like tarot reading as well. If you're reading tarot like from a soul-centered lens, is that there are no bad cards, there are no bad feelings. All of it is part of the spectrum of being a human. Um, and so it is for us to like dismantle the rules around the feelings and just feel them.
Yeah.
Knowing that like some feelings are unpleasant to feel, but that doesn't mean that they are bad or wrong.
Yeah. I think one of the great things about our last conversation that was that like it made me realize like who I was getting my rules from. Like, why am I listening to another 5-year-old about how I'm sad about my grandfather, right? And it's interesting to just like what we pick up and from where.
Yeah.
Where like versus like, TV, media, movies, and uncles, friends, someone in passing, whatever it may be. And you carry it long enough, you think it's your own.
Exactly.
Right. And so with somatic sessions with you and like journaling, I've been able to be like, okay, why do I think this? Like, where did this come from? Who said it? And then like drop in, how do I feel about this? Not what do I think about it, but how do I feel about this?
Yeah.
And go from there in regards to like, am I keeping this rule, modifying this rule, or trashing it?
Hmm.
Not easy, but I feel better.
I, I mean, I really honor that you are in the practice of that, because even getting to that point
Right.
of awareness and like enough detachment to make a decision about, whether you're going to keep these beliefs or not, requires that you've done a lot of healing already, as opposed to um like just being reactive.
Right.
But I think that like really the sign of healing is like widening the space, like the pause between, the trigger and how you react to it. Um, you know what I mean? Like you want it to get farther and farther apart so that you can observe and be curious.
Well, the healing is not reacting and responding.
Yes. And
That's the flip, right? Like if I'm dysregulated and I'm not taking care of myself, I'm now reacting to everything around me. Whereas if I take care of myself and I'm regulating and I'm aware, I can respond. And when you respond, you have a lot more control
right. And it's all right.
because it's
And
control itself. I feel like when I'm reacting, I'm trying to control external factors and then it just like leads to chaos, right? Because you can't control things outside of you.
right,
But if I'm responding,
right,
there's a sense of balance, right? Like in
right. A sense of you have agency over your own system.
there.
Yeah.
Those were the words I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that the magic like ingredient of that is a pause, is
Mhm.
actually like having a pause in which you can consider, how
Yeah.
do I want to respond? And when we are still like, fused with our old stuff, we don't have the privilege of that space of the pause,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. And to be fair and to be clear, I'm not pausing in the middle of my day, right? So my day goes the way it goes. And when I journal in the evenings or the mornings, I'm recapping it. And I can be like, oh, okay, like, kids did XYZ or PK said this in this tone and like this is whatever. And I'm doing all the work in my journal at the end of like the event has happened, right? Or like the damage has occurred, but I'm learning from it. And so that the next time
Right.
I can like okay, this, like you've seen this before, like you know what you need to do. Can you do it? Do it.
But that next time
Right.
you're describing has the pause baked in, because
Right.
the next time it happens, you have the memory, even if it's like a millisecond,
Yeah.
and that's the pause, you
Oh,
know?
see, I think that's good to elaborate on or like talk about because I think sometimes people think like you can't just stop and like meditate in the middle of the day. Like you can't like be in the
No,
middle of the
no,
and it's like, no, that's not necessarily what we're saying. We're saying like you
it's a
go through the
tiny beat.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go through the experience and when you reflect and do the work in the safety of your own time, like whatever that time period is for you, then the next moment there's an innate pause.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. Because I'm like, who's taking breaks in the middle of their arguments? Because once I'm heated, like,
Well, well, sometimes though, I will say, like, and it is a privilege to be able to do it, but sometimes when you're having an argument with somebody who you're in a relationship with, you trust each other, you can be like, you can feel yourself getting heated and be like, do you mind if I just take a breath and come back to this in 10 minutes?
right.
And sometimes we don't have the privilege of being able to do that,
Yeah.
um, but it is a thing. Like it is in like therapy speak, like good advice, especially if it's with like your significant other.
Yeah. Between tech issues, I was like popping off to PK. I was like, we have all this tech and none of it works. Like, da, da, da.
Uh,
And like, he's like, how can I help? And then, he like did something with the computer for me and then handed it back. And like, that was it. Whereas before, it would have been like, he may have taken it personally as
right,
in regards to like the tech that we have in the house and like,
right. That
and
it's
it's like,
like a
no, it's not
reflection on him, like that, like
right.
the tech is bad, so it's he's bad.
Right. Whereas then like none of that happened. He let me rent. I vented, we got past it. Now we're here. It's fine.
Beautiful.
So,
Yeah. Um, I want to, if it's okay,
yeah, of course.
go back to something that we were talking about a little earlier, because I had a question with regards to the grief conversation, which is you said that you're going to be taking some of your older art down and archiving it. And so I'm curious because art is like something that we create, like it's a baby. And what your emotional process is, if there is grief around, um, archiving something that you created, putting it away, like moving on from it, or how you feel around it.
Yeah. No, I love that question. Thank you. I'm actually very excited. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like I have been hiding from myself for a long time in regards to like what I want to paint and how I want to paint. And
Oh,
I've had like a lot of imposed rules, like self-imposed rules, like, oh, you're a watercolor artist, like you can only use watercolor. But I really love like my favorite paintings are oil paintings, or my like most favorite paintings are mixed media paintings. You know what I mean? And so I'm trying to force this medium to do all these things that it's not meant to do. And when the painting falls short, I feel like I fall short. And it was just like this perpetual cycle of like, you're not good enough. Like, what are you doing? Da, da, da. Whereas it's like, why? Like, why does it have to be just, and I think I read it like in a Facebook group once. So like, oh no, it's not a pure watercolor. And I'm like, oh.
oh, that
Right.
honestly.
And I was like, oh, okay. So like if you, and just like all these things. And then it was also the lack of clarity in regards to like where I wanted my art to be and what spaces I wanted to be in.
Mhm.
So someone had mentioned that they had submitted their paintings into a show, but they had signed their name in ink. And so they got rejected from the show because the whole piece had to be
Are you
watercolor.
kidding me?
And that's just their story. I don't even know where they were located. And I took that and I was just like, oh, okay, like everything has to be watercolor. I have no intentions of submitting to a purist watercolor art show. You know what I mean?
I was
So,
gonna ask, like, do you want to be in that show at all?
and that was the thing. Like I was working towards things that didn't make sense because that's not necessarily what I wanted,
Yeah, yeah. This is
right?
an important part of like developing who you are as an artist, you know?
Right.
And the empowerment of being like, oh wait, I get to choose. Like
Hmm.
as opposed to because I relate to this, and I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No,
I'm
tell
very
me.
excited. I relate to this as an actor because for when you're training and you're just like, I will do whatever I need to do just to get
Yeah.
my foot in the door. And that's what you're trained to do. You're trained to just like bow and like say yes to everything and like chameleon yourself in order to be what the casting directors want or what the industry wants. And it was only when I was like several years into it and I had like kind of created my own show that I was really proud of that I got to approach a manager and be like, and no, yeah, I have something that you want, as
Right.
opposed to like, what do you want? What can I bring you? You know what I mean? And it is a really, I think it only happens with maturity,
Yeah.
but it, like you were saying before, it's moving from an external point of figuring out who you are to an internal point of figuring out who you are and being so confident in that that you trust that like the connections will find you that need to find you as
Yeah.
opposed to like I'll just take whatever I can get.
Well, it's also like if you're doing everything, then you're in spaces that are more of that. And so you get more of that. Versus if you have the clarity to know what you want to do and you put yourself there, like then the right people do find you because you're putting yourself where you need to be, right? And so,
Yeah, but it comes. Yeah, sorry.
no, tell me.
It just made me think of like I think this is leaking. The lack mentality um uh, of I can't say no to anything because what if I don't have anything? I'll take
Right.
whatever I can get, but like what that does is like devalue who you are, and but I think that's also a sign of like maturity of I don't need the entire world to approve of me and validate me. All
Mhm.
I need is the people who get me and who need what I have to offer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so I'm in a place now where I'm like, okay, I basically have like an art folder, like a saved folder on Instagram and on TikTok of just like things I see that I want to try.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, this is cool, or oh, that looks fun. And like trying my version of that painting
Yeah.
style to kind of see what fits. And there's less pressure of it to be a collection or a series or for it to turn out. I was also under the impression that like, oh, to call myself an artist, if someone handed me a pen and paper and was like, draw XYZ, I should be able to draw it, like to scale. And I don't know where that came
Yeah,
from,
that's a rule. Where'd that rule come from?
right? And so even like my
To
drawings,
scale.
I sketch them all out. And there's some artists who will do like a digital composite and then use a projector to get it sketched on and then paint. Whereas I was like spending hours sketching to get everything right and like where I wanted it and then painting. And I'm like, just really like I would feel like, oh, if people knew that I was creating a digital composite, I feel like they wouldn't appreciate the work. It was
Oh
really
man.
weird. I told myself all sorts of weird, wild things. And now I'm just like, if I have a digital composite, it just makes it faster for me to paint and get these ideas out of my head.
Right.
And through action, I'll gain clarity as to like, okay, did I enjoy painting this? So I was telling my husband, because he's really into cars. Like he goes to car shows and wins awards and like he's
Yeah.
a little brag, but like he's kind of a big deal, right? And so I was like, oh, well, let me paint your car. And I was like, and if I enjoy it, then maybe when you go to shows, you can like post it up, you know, with like
Yeah.
whatever and like that. But if I don't enjoy it, then you have a painting of your car and like it's a sweet thing that I did and it's fine. Like
Yeah.
very low pressure, you know? And so
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like I have these things that I want to try and they don't feel so heavy. I think before everything was so do or die, make it or break it, black and white, like I need to
Yeah.
know exactly what I want and it needs to be the thing and it needs to work out and I'm
It
just
sounds, yeah, like you're a recovering perfectionist and a recovering purist.
yeah.
And like I just love this for you because it sounds like you were really functioning a lot from your left brain. And as an artist, you want to kind of like move more over into the right brain, right?
Right.
Which is gonna be messy. It's gonna be non-linear. You
Yeah.
know, it's gonna break rules. And but ultimately will free you more to be the artist that you want to be, you know, that feels fulfilling to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. I feel like I'm just ready to like show up as I am and like find my people. And so I've been having a lot more fun. I keep telling Kayla, who I spoke with, I think last like 2 weeks ago. I was like, yeah, I'm in like my FAFO era. And she's like, I love how you just go around saying that as if everyone knows what that means.
I
And it's
don't.
fuck around and find out
Oh
era,
yeah, yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
playful
yeah, yeah.
era.
Love it.
And I was like, well, I'm trying
Not
not to swear because my 6-year-old is picking it up. So I go around saying
right.
stuff. Even the other day, I was like, she's FAFOing. Like she's about to find out. Like, and it's just like, I think it's also a matter of like, I have reached a level of like security financially, like in our household, in all of our things, where I've been able to like, okay, I can release this pressure and like I am safe and secure, and so I can be more playful.
Yeah.
But the reality is I was always safe and secure. It was just I was in my head about it and I wasn't able to see it. And I think if I had seen it sooner, I probably would be further along in my art, but I learned everything when I was meant to learn it. And
Exactly.
so now all I can do is just be like, hey, like, yes, privilege, like everyone has some form of it, but acknowledge it and then like take advantage of it. I think
Yeah.
that was another thing. Like
Yeah.
I had guilt around the fact that like my husband earned and was like paying, I was like, oh, like I'm a stay-at-home mom, which I think is very admirable for others, but somehow for myself it was like not,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, in terms of retiring the old work, which is where this started, I'm very excited. Because I feel like one, it's been kind of holding me back because I'm trying to recreate that work or like expand on those collections or series, and that's not where my heart
Gonna
is.
put it, yeah, away.
Instead,
So
I just release it, like I'm good.
so it sounds like you don't like uh uh that you don't have like a sentimental attachment to it, that you feel like you owe it to keep it like visible. Where for me, I'm it's hard for me to let go of old stuff because I'm like, but did I squeeze every drop of value out of it? Like it was beautiful, like it was a piece of me, you know, like over identifying with my work. And I think it's a really a sign of mastery if you don't over
Well,
identify.
I've been reading through the Creative Act, and you and I were talking about this a couple months ago, and I've been like I started at the beginning of this year, so I'm very slowly reading through it, which I really love because I feel like my subconscious has time to process different parts. And something that stood out to me was just like depending on what type of artist you want to be, if you want to be a commercial artist, mainstream, yes, churn it out, uh, quantity over quality, but not in like a disrespectful way, just like create more.
Right.
And you go based off of what is trending. There's not a lot of like, this is what's calling to me or this is what's inspiring me, right? It's like this is the vibe right now. Like, let's make it, churn it out, get it out. But if that's not the type of artist you want to be and you want to express more of yourself and it, come from other realms and areas of your life, then you have to view it as time capsules.
Hmm.
Like everything you create is from like a certain period of time. And I do that
Yes.
for music. Like there are certain songs that can like, I'm in high school, or oh, I'm
Right.
in college hanging out with my friends, or oh, I'm
Right.
with PK driving around New York City trying to find parking so we can go eat, like
Yeah.
certain songs. And I'm like, those are time capsules. And so it's not necessarily like they're gone. Like certain radio stations play those songs, right? And so I have them as prints and I have them like my favorites are hanging in my house and the commissions have been like not the commissions, the originals, most of them have been sold. So
Hmm.
they're being appreciated in their homes, which is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool,
Beautiful.
you know? So, and I can still, luckily, because they're visual, I can use them in my marketing materials or my website or turn them, and I have a line of journals. So, like, they might not be available as prints after what I have sells out or whatever it is, but I can still gently and lovingly release whatever stock I have left at the end of July in the forms of like gifts or thank you cards or whatever it may be. And like grieve in a loving way, like release in a lovingly
Yeah.
way versus being like, oh my God, like this box of art is the art that I didn't sell when I was beginning because I wasn't any good and like all that. Like, no, like it's here. Someone loves it. People can expect surprises in their mailbox. I don't know what you're gonna get because I don't know what I'm gonna have left.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, just
Yeah.
move on.
That sounds incredibly healthy. And to the point of like, you sold all the originals, so you know that they're being like that's um
Most of them, yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah, but like that's then I get how it's easier to
Yeah.
just and the music analogy is perfect. Like I definitely understand what you mean by that. Certain songs when I hear them I am transported
Yeah.
immediately, not only to the time and place, but also to the feelings I had inside
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a TikTok channel where it's I think they're a couple and they watch music videos or live performances and they've been watching Taylor Swift's concerts. And I'm not a big Swiftie at all. Like I know her stuff that plays on the radio and that's about it. But I
Yeah.
remember it was a big deal when she wanted to switch from country to pop and how like they're like, oh, it's never been done before and da 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 and like she like that was her being like, okay, I'm done with this phase, right?
Totally.
And like it got like that set her up. It got her the following. Like that was a big decision. And I'm
Mm.
watching this concert on my phone with these two other people who are live reacting to it. And these concerts are so good. And like the lyrics are so good. And I'm just like, imagine if she was scared and she had just stuck to country. I'm not saying she wouldn't have done well, but like this discography of work would not be out there, right? Like I would not be viewing it with this couple on TikTok, like having the time of my life right now.
Right. Yeah, it requires that you release stuff so that
Yeah.
you can make space for the next stuff. And um it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah.
I feel like stuff is easier to release than people. So I'm usually very quick to get rid of this stuff because the people is harder,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know? So yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so we were also going to talk about cancer season. This has been a little scattered because just the way it started, but I'm okay with it. But you were
Yeah,
going to educate us on cancer season, and maybe are you still open to pulling some cards to like,
I'll pull a couple.
yeah,
Cancer season is nearly over now.
I
We're about
know.
to step into Leo season. But I thought that like with regard to the grief thing, um, cancer is the sign of um like the mother and like it's watery and it's often very soggy with emotions.
Yeah.
I feel it for sure, but I also am mostly like a fire and air person. And
Okay.
just so it just happens that like there's it can be emotionally heavy
Yeah.
time. So, like, when the rest of the year it might be easier to put like grief and sadness and all those things to just like override them, cancer
Hmm.
season kind of like makes you wade through those waters.
Mm.
So, that's all I wanted to say about it though. Uh, and it surprises me every year because every year I'm like, after Gemini season, I'm doing so great. Like I'm like building things, I'm writing things, I'm communicating. Gemini is super like fast
Right.
and then Cancer season happens, and I'm like, and I'm just crying more than I've cried all year, and yeah,
It's so fast because like I'm new to astrology. I'm like new to learning all of this, and it's so exciting because I remember my last semester of college. So I finished my college degree in the summer session because I was behind a few credits. And that was like the first July where I feel like I had a panic attack. Like I was just like so overwhelmed and so stressed out. And I was like, I feel like all of the filing cabinets in my head have exploded and there's papers everywhere. And like, I can't,
what a great metaphor.
yeah. And I was just like, I can't figure this out. And it was such a hard month. And I don't, whatever, like I got through it. It's fine. But then every July after that has been like deer in the headlights. Like, I've had like a few tough ones, like this one I'm doing better. I definitely feel the emotions though. I was watching a quinceanera video on TikTok and she was doing a dance with her little sister and it was like looking in the mirror and I was just like I was done. But because like why are you watching sad stuff? I was like it's not sad. It's just like really well done
Yeah,
because this year is our in August is our 10-year wedding anniversary. And then in another 10 years the girls will be 16 and I'm like I couldn't handle it. I was like
yeah,
I'm a mess.
yeah, yeah. The nostalgia and like the soft gooey center,
Yeah, the passing of time just like it gets me every time. Every time. I'm just like
Is he dancing behind me?
he is. He's got his headphones on.
Amazing. Um, well, yeah. I do have cards here, but what do we want to what do we want to pull around specifically?
Let's pull around. You do the mirror and the medicine, correct?
I
Is that
mean, I don't have to do that.
okay?
That's what I pull. That's what I normally
On
pull.
your idea. Yeah.
Um, but we can pull about something else,
Well, I guess maybe how to finish off cancer season. Like, does that make sense? Like how to end this season
Yeah, like what
well.
yes. I usually say like for my highest good and greatest joy, like what energetic tools are here to help ease us through the rest of this cancer season.
Yeah.
Like
This is why I go to Lyssa, you guys. She's got the best phrases for everything. Whereas I'm like, do be good.
a lot of hot air inside me. Okay. Yeah, okay. So the two cards that I pulled are the Eight of Cups,
Okay.
High Priestess.
Ooh.
And both of these feel really, really, really prescient. So, Eight of Cups, I mean, Cups is the suit of feelings, of emotions. So it's like we're right in the right place with Cancer season. And the eight specifically, you can see this figure has turned his back toward the viewer. Um, and it's a card of walking away from what is done. And to do it like decisively and gracefully. So frequently, this card comes up around like breakups, whether it's a breakup with a person or a breakup with a job or a breakup with a place. It is basically like this thing has filled our cups, our emotional cups, for exactly the amount of time that it needed to, and we can be grateful for that. And now it's done. Don't try to go back and grab those cups; they're empty.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is perfect specifically for cancer season, because it's like, yep, we just drank all of that, all of that water of emotion or whatever, and now it's time to move on. But it also kind of applies to discussion about art,
Yeah.
and just because we walk away from something does not mean it did not have value. Like, just because a relationship ends does not mean it was a waste of time. It did exactly, it fulfilled its purpose, and to hold on to it any longer would be futile because there's nothing left in it. So we
Right.
have and then we have the High Priestess, which is a major arcana card. And when majors come up, to me, it signifies like there's a larger energy at work here, that is beyond our human control in these little human bodies. And so it's a gift of like, having whatever the energy is behind us to kind of amplify what we're going through. And the High Priestess, is, she's a high priestess. Like, she is about, the empowerment of your intuition, and that divine feminine energy of having a sense of knowing that comes from deep inside. She's able to be quiet and listen to the messages coming from inside of her and know that they're coming from a divinely guided place. She's not afraid of the dark. She's not afraid of being alone. She is, deeply in touch with the magic of the cosmos, and like this secret and ancient, um, rituals, uh, that move everything behind the scenes, as opposed to the magician, which is sort of like the male equivalent of it. It's much more like externally focused, but the
Right.
high priestess is very internal. So it's basically like, okay, we just spent a very soggy month processing a lot of feelings, and or I would say, no, a soggy month feeling a lot of feelings, being hit with these waves over and over and over again. And so now it's time to just get quiet, get still, go inside, and as I said before, like, let the pebbles settle to the bottom of the river. Because the high priestess can take all of these messy feelings, this exploded filing cabinet, and sort through it and find like the gems of wisdom in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was talking to someone else and was like, I think I want to take some time away from social and just
Mhm.
like go inward and like paint and just I was telling her, I was like, there's like this level of haze of just like having a thought and then doing it, but not letting that particular pebble fall any deeper. Like to not overthink it. So,
Mhm.
they say like the gap between thought and action is like the biggest.
That's the pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in some forms, like you don't want that pause. Like sometimes the pause is too long, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because like I'll have painting ideas and I'm just like I've had one idea I've been sitting on for 4 years now.
Mhm.
Like I
Mhm.
need to just paint. Like I just need to get it down and like out and like release it. So
Right.
yeah. Oh, those are
Mm.
good.
I know they're perfect for I just love it. And it's so nice because it's like sometimes when you're in Eight of Cups realm, you feel like you're, you know, drowning in feelings. And like they're important feelings to move through, but like there's some relief to me in seeing the high priestess because it's like, okay, I've found the shore, and and I don't have to do this alone, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I love that.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's tell people what you do and where they can find you if they haven't figured it out by now as to what
Yeah.
you do.
Yes, so I am a somatic therapist, and a tarot reader. I'm a writer, editor. I'm an actor, comedian. I do a lot of things. But the best place to find me is always, for better or worse, on Instagram at a flock of sandwiches. However, you can also get in touch with me through my website, which is lyssamandel.com.
Yay.
Yeah.
Guys, highly recommend getting a reading, getting a session. It's so good. Just like take a breath and drop in. And one, like, I remember the first few times I dropped, I was like, what the fuck is happening in here?
Yeah, yeah,
What
because
is
you're not even used to being in there because everything is here. And when
right?
you try to drop in, it's like, what? It just like bounces right back up. Yeah.
Or like different parts are disconnected for various reasons, which Lyssa helps you navigate and, dive into what's kind of going on. Thank you for hanging in there with me with all of the tucky stuff today.
Thank you.
And yeah, I appreciate the breathing session and the cards. This was great. And once I figure out where to post all this, I'll let you
Let me
know.
know. Yeah.